Thing in progress.
What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite minority from the loud majority, just touching base with the base. Episode 34. I've been off for a while. Just getting back on, trying to get this whole setup together. That way I can come through and be able to give you guys more content. I just had to get the setup right. Um, so yeah, this episode is pretty much about a couple of things going on. I mean, so many things going on, but the main thing that I want to talk about in this episode is probably border security. That's number one. Number one is border security. Okay. This is probably the biggest problem that we have right now, border security. Now, if you've been keeping up with the border, then you already know what's going on. I mean, if you live in New Jersey, Chicago, a lot of these Democrat cities and states, then you know what's going on. And as far as the immigration goes, you know that there's a major issue at the United States border right now. I mean, it is unlike anything we've ever seen before, pretty much. Um, and with this new ruling coming from the Supreme Court, it pretty much just tied, well, they tried to tie the hands of the Border National Guard behind their back because the Border Patrol is pretty much, let's face it, the Border Patrol has pretty much been compromised. They've been given orders to basically let people come through. Basically, they've been given orders to not do their job at all. So the National Guard had to step in and pretty much take control of the situation because when you swear an oath to these institutions, whether you're a police officer, an FBI agent, an army soldier, a National Guard, you swear an oath to the Constitution of the United States of America. That means you swore to uphold the Constitution of America. Um, wide open borders, is not a part of our Constitution. That's not something that has ever been a part of our Constitution. Let everybody just come in. It's always been about legal immigration, legal. So the National Guard had to step in because, well, Border Patrol they weren't doing their job. They pretty much violated their oath. They were actively allowing people to just keep coming in through the border. And then with the latest ruling, where you have the Supreme Court voting 5-4 to allow Biden to cut the razor wires from the fences in Texas, and that Texas installed to block all these illegal migrants from coming across the border. Some of these were conservative judges that were put in this position by Donald Trump. And I can understand how people are already using that against him. Trust me, I get it. But when the Supreme Court decides, hey, we're going to violate the oath of our oath to the Constitution, and we're just going to allow people to come in, cut that razor wire, let people come in. What does that tell you? I mean, I know what it tells me. It tells me the same thing that it's telling most people, that the United States government, the Supreme Court, the White House, the Department of Justice, they've all been compromised. They are no longer following the Constitution. They have literally violated their oath of office. I mean, think of it like a police officer. I mean, it's not hard for us to think of this because it happens a lot. Think about a police officer who breaks the law. This is pretty much what is happening right now. A police officer's job is to uphold the law. That is his main job, uphold the law. Now, when he starts breaking the law, you get in the picture here? The White House, the Department of Justice, the Supreme Court, they have an oath to follow the United States Constitution. Nowhere in our Constitution does it say allow people to just flow through our borders, unchecked, undocumented, illegally, just let it happen. Nowhere does it say that. These people have violated their oaths of office. So what you have now at the border is you have what? You have federal agents standing against federal agents and border patrol standing against the National Guard. One is being ordered to protect the border, don't let anyone through at the state level. That's the National Guard. Then the other, the feds, they're being ordered to Cut the razor wire. Let them come in no matter what. That's coming from the federal government. What's going to happen here? Okay. You have these two institutions at odds with each other. Both, uh, they both carry firearms, and one is telling the other that they won't do what they're being told to do. What do you think is going to eventually happen? See, this is, I think, what people need to be paying attention to. This situation right here could very well be the kickoff of a civil war. Very well. This could be where the Civil War actually begins because you have two institutions that are armed, okay, that are authority, technically. They have the right to use their firearms. Who's going to be wrong when guns start getting drawn? Who's going to be wrong? Which side? You can't, we've never seen anything like this before. This is why I think people need to be paying very, very close attention to this particular situation at the border, because this could be the one that actually starts everything. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have people from Texas that start to come to the aid of National Guard, because those people in Texas are tired of these people flowing through their border unchecked, undocumented. So what do you think? Whose side do you think they're going to be on? They're not going to be on the side of the federal government. And this is Texas we're talking about here. This is a open carry state. This is a pro Second Amendment state. So when those civilians, those citizens start showing up to aid the National Guard, you best believe they're bringing their firepower too. This could very well be what kicks off the Civil War. People don't want to admit it, but this could be it. This could be where it all begins. As the days keep going by, the tension keeps going bigger and bigger and bigger. The situation is not getting any better. There is no solution in sight as to where both sides will be happy. One side says, let them continue to come in. Let's write legislation to get these people citizenship and let them start enjoying American freedoms right away. The other side is, no, send them back. There's no compromise. Where's the compromise? There's not going to be. There's not going to be one. The sitting president of the United States of America has openly admitted that he knows that the border is wide open. He knows it. He's openly admitted it on TV. But what's his solution? His solution is, Republicans just pretty much need to give us what we want. That's the only way we'll come to a solution. You know, they get on TV and they pretend, the Republicans won't help us. They won't aid us in trying to help. No. Your solution is to just let them all come and let's take care of them. That's your solution. That's the only solution that is going to make you happy. So if the Republicans don't say, yes, we'll just let everybody come in and we're going to take care of everybody before we take care of our own, then you're not happy. Now, this should tell people which party really cares about you. Listen, you can hate both sides all you want, but there's only one side that is actively putting foreigners over you. And that is literally against what they're supposed to do. That is a violation of their oath. Okay? These are foreign threats coming through our borders every day. A lot of these men these are military-age men. There are barely any women and children coming through. Barely. Okay? These are mostly military-age men. And now I see this thing people are saying, that's a new buzzword, military-age men. No, it's reality. Any of you men out there, when you hear that word and you get, it's a new word, you're scared. That's what you are. You're terrified. You're scared about the reality of what this might mean. These men are from war-torn countries. They've grew up their entire lives to with the instinct to just be on the offense, to always be on the offense, never on the defense. They have a kill or be killed mentality. You have a Pop-Tarts or Kellogg's Frosted Flakes mentality. You understand? These are people from a different place. They don't think like you and me. They're not going to come here and see the things that we see every day. They're going to see something different in their minds. They're going to see things for the taking. They're going to see things that, is it really this easy for us to come in here and just pillage and take what we want? It's all out in the open. That's how they see things. They don't see things like that. People need to wake up. I'm done arguing with people online about, These nobody's illegal on stolen land. And oh, please shut them up about stolen land. Okay. Every place on the planet belonged to someone before it belonged to the person that it belongs to now. History is written by the winners. The end. And yeah, if somebody comes in America and takes over, they get to rewrite history here because they won. The problem is we're trying not to let that happen. The people who are arguing, oh, well, America's just getting what it deserves. Hey, moron, you live in America. These people are not coming here to be your friend. They're not going to see you and say, oh, you have the right flag and the right in your window. We're going to let you live. We're going to spare you. No, you privileged, filthy American, you die too. You pink rainbowed hair, you die too. You trans flag American, you die too. Oh, you got a gay? Oh, you definitely go. Okay, a lot of these people come here. They are completely against most of the ideology that is being spread in America today. Okay, let me just tell you that. Okay, they don't support the gay rights. They don't support the transgenderism. They don't support any of that. If you were to go to their country with with you know and have that type of mentality, just forget about it. Forget about it. You get thrown off of a roof. They throw you off a roof. Okay. What's happening at the U.S. border is bigger than anybody is ready to admit. Even our president is not ready to admit how serious the situation is. I don't think he's even really ready to admit it. That's why he plays very vague every time he's asked about the border. He plays very vague, which is funny to me because the main person that needed to be asking about it was the person that was tasked with the border when she became vice president. That was her job, Kamala Harris. She's pretty much not said anything about the border. She's not even been there. She went to Arizona. she pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. Went to Arizona. ABC and NBC covered it. Said, "Oh, everything looks fine here. There's nobody flowing through." Yeah, you went to Arizona. They're mostly coming through Texas. Go to Texas. She hasn't been there. She won't go there. She won't even talk about it. She's another. She's honestly, I don't even understand how anybody still takes that woman seriously at this point. The border needs to get under control like today. They need to write some legislation. They need to do something that shuts the border down immediately. Okay. The National Guard has put up razor wire. They're arresting people. They're sending them back. They're telling them you can't come. The feds now want to come in and say, no, you can't do that. Biden administration has told us that we're allowed. The federal government has told us we're allowed. See, this is the problem with the federal government. What are they good for? Taking your money, taxes, allowing other people to come in so they can give your tax money to those people. We can go on and on. What good is the federal government? They're no good. No good. We need to end the Fed. Okay. I know that's a cool talking point that most people say today, but it's true. We need to end the Fed. The Fed it's done more damage than good. But truthfully speaking, at some point, at some point, Border Patrol and the federal government, I'm sorry, the National Guard and the federal government, eventually they're not going to be able to come to come to any conclusion. They're not going to be able to come to a peaceful solution if it continues the way it continues. And eventually, arms will get pulled. I'm not praying for that. I'm not hoping for that, but it's looking like that's what's most likely going to end up happening. Somebody will say, "No, you can't do that." And they say, "Well, I'm ordered to do this." And they say, "Well, you can't." Somebody that's really passionate on either side. Because remember, they're just human beings like you and me at the end of the day. Yeah, you can put a badge and a uniform on to pretend that all your emotions go away and just follow your job. But there's passion and tension flaring on both sides. Some are pro, some are anti in both of these institutions. What's gonna happen when arms get pulled? I'm interested in seeing that. That's gonna start civil war.